My entire neighborhood turned against me because of a single, overgrown tomato plant. I didn't realize that a simple act of gardening could ignite a full-scale social war in our quiet cul-de-sac. It started last spring when I decided to grow an heirloom variety that grew nearly 7 feet tall. It was lush and vibrant, but it leaned slightly over the white picket fence separating my yard from Mrs. Gable's pristine, manicured lawn. Mrs. Gable was the self-appointed queen of our homeowners association. She took pride in her obsession with uniformity. One Tuesday morning, I walked outside to find a bright orange sticker slapped onto my front door. It was a formal complaint from the board. They claimed my plant was an eyesore that threatened the aesthetic value of the entire street. I laughed it off at first, thinking it was just a grumpy neighbor being petty. I sent a polite email back explaining that it was just a vegetable and it would be gone by autumn. The next day, I stepped out to grab my mail and noticed 4 of my neighbors standing in the street. They weren't talking to each other, but they were all staring directly at my house. When I waved, nobody waved back. The air felt heavy and thick. By the weekend, the situation escalated. A petition started circulating demanding that I remove all non-ornamental vegetation from my front yard. People I had shared drinks with just weeks ago suddenly looked through me as if I were a ghost. The tension reached a breaking point during the Saturday block party. I had planned to attend, hoping to clear the air, but the moment I walked onto the sidewalk, the chatter stopped. It was like someone had pressed a mute button on the entire street. Mrs. Gable stood in the center of the crowd, holding a glass of iced tea, watching me with a cold, triumphant smile. One of my closest friends, Dave, walked up to me and handed me a printed copy of the HOA bylaws. He didn't say a word. He just pointed to a clause about property maintenance and walked away. I felt the weight of their collective judgment. It was absurd. I was being ostracized over a tomato plant. I stood there for a long minute, looking at the faces of people who had once helped me move furniture and watched my dog. They were all waiting for me to apologize or to tear down my garden. Instead, I did something they did expect. I walked home, grabbed a pair of garden shears, and went back out to the front yard. I didn't cut down the plant. I walked to the fence, harvested every single ripe, glowing red tomato, and placed